Hello everybody and welcome to Euro Truck Simulator 2 with me, Kevin Sawyer. Hope you guys and girls are all well and enjoying your day, whatever you're up to. Right, like I was saying in either as American Truck Simulator or a previous Euro Truck Simulator, it was definitely the previous episode of Euro Truck Simulator when I was doing a DAF, I was discussing about this mod which I discovered. Now, it's a bit of a funny one to sort of like get your head round, and I will promise to try and put all the links in the description down below to where you can get the bits of the pieces of this from. Some of this is on Steam, there's some other bits and pieces which you may or may not need. I'd say just download the one for the truck definitely, and the one for the trailer off the Steam first. Try them before downloading the other ones. I put it in sort of like order priority. But anyway, once you have downloaded this, and it should be working. It works with the current update. I admit it does work. You need to sort of build it up in a certain way, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll go into details. First of all, if we go to a truck dealer, you'll see that I'm actually using my current Scania, which I've been using from the day I bought it. But just for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna just show you which ones you need. So there are other mods available. I won't put them in the links down below. But for a tandem that also makes these into a tandem, I don't think this particular mod works. Just double check. No, it doesn't. Okay, but I know there is one that does do it with the other ones. I think this works. Which other one does it work with? I'm sure it's one of these it works with. Is it this one? Yeah, it works with this one. Okay, so you've got two options on this. You've got this one here, which is, let me just go back out. Okay, it's just it is the S again. It's just a regular S. Does it work with that R up here? It does work with this R as well. So it's all the new, it's all the next generation or new generation of the Scanias it works with. So it'll work with this one here, this one here. It just won't work with these old school ones or the older generation trucks. As I'll show that again. Look. Doesn't work with those, but it does work with the newer generation of trucks. I know there is a mod that will work with these. I've seen it, but again I won't put the links in the description for that. You guys and girls can do your homework and dig that one out for yourself. It should work with any of the next gen trucks, but once you have found it and you found which truck it should be working on, you should see it says tandem on it. Make sure you select that. And then you've got go over to the chassis configuration. Where are you? Why aren't you working? Again, it's a bit finicky. If I just put this to that, go back over to this and make sure. Oh, it's a tandem. Didn't select the right one. Right, confirm. Right, so it's now on tandem. Once, make sure that's the first step. You need to make sure that is selected before you do anything else. Otherwise you just won't get the other options. You'll be sitting there going, well, it doesn't work, Kev. Alright, so you can change as long as, right, hang on, I've done that wrong. Go back tandem, yep. And then chassis configuration. See what I mean? Right, okay. If I put that to that, go to that. I've probably not selected the best one. Then go back to that. Then you should. There we go. So basically, make sure you've got that cab on. Make sure the cab appears and it's showing before going on to the chassis configuration, otherwise you're going to get problems. I'd say just put the 6x4 or the 4x2 configuration on. It might make life a little bit easier, or just put the small cab on again. But again, you have to scroll down wherever it says tandem. Make sure that one again is selected, because if you don't, you're gonna run into problems. But as you can see, you've got the, it looks like a 6x2 with a mid lift, sorry, tag lift. Again, 6x2, it's like a tag lift again. Conventional 6x4 configuration. Then you've got the so that's 8x4 configuration. 8x4 configuration again. I don't know what difference is between the two. There's not. It looks like the axle differs in some way or another. It's just more the way that the axles lift, and that's like again the tag lift, 8x4 tag. Again, that's a 6x4. That says tag lift. So again, it's lift back axle tag, and then that's the conventional chassis. Make sure you have that selected no matter what else you do, because that's the configuration you need. So once you've selected your appropriate chassis, if you find the right dot, not that one, again you have to sort of like, there we go, it's that one I think, there we go. Once you find the right dot, you can then stick your box on the back, and then again you can customize this. The options are endless. I'm gonna gloss over it, but as you can see, you've got lots of different like little options on the box. You can change the cooler unit to whatever you like. Again, you can't stick lights on the top, but typically you wouldn't see them lights. The back ends you can customize again if you want to whatever your heart contents. I think there's another little option here as well. This is where it gets a bit tricky, because I don't know if that's the way that the mod's working, or again the bits that I've got on it are just not working right. But then you've got like a little lifter there, got a lifter there, and all sorts of little things going on there. Again, and you've got, I think, options for the side. You can stick that on, stick that on if you want. If you scoot round to the other side, there should be another dot here. No, that's for the box I think again, yeah. So you can have it as painted, colour coding to the truck skin, whatever you wish. There is an option around here somewhere that gives you the bottom of it. Is it here? No, it gives you lower lights. No, it gives you a painted cover. So it's a bit finicky. If you get the right angle on it. Is it this one? That just paints that. Might be with the chassis configuration again. I know one of these. Is it that one? No. I know one of these actual little dots, it could be this one here, actually changes the, there we go. Ah, there we go. Right. Yeah, it's here. It's around about here. You have to select the right one, like I said. Otherwise you get little issues like that. Is it this one? Again, have a look around. You will sort of like discover it eventually. If you just keep beaming around the truck, you'll eventually sort of like come across the right way to build this up. It's a bit, say, it's a bit, there we go. It's just hiding that part of the, see? It's when you're looking around the front. So you can sit there and select the tanks, whatever you want to do. Again, I didn't want to go too much into detail because I want to try and keep it short and sweet. But again, customize it. There's lots of customizability available. Once you've done what you want to do, making the truck look pretty or whatever, again, it works with all the interior stuff. You can change it out whatever it needs to, etc, etc, etc. Doesn't change it anyway other than that. Once you've bought the truck or customized your truck to work, you'd be like, right, okay, what's next, Kev? What you need to do next, you need to now go and buy yourself a trailer. And if you go over to this section here, the trailers you need are going to be these type or these type. As long as it's got either this like hitch here or a little dolly in a hitch, you can then customize it to your heart's content. See, it's got this little hitch and dolly. Again, that's an option. You can have it as, you can't have it as that because obviously that won't work. This part of the trailer will sink into it, and again, same for that. But then you can have that option. You can change. If I go to options here, how about here? Here you can change this out, so you can have it as that, or we can have it painted. Again, you just got to make sure it's got this little dolly on it. If not the dolly, again you've got loads of options there as well. If not the dolly, as I say, is that option here, customize with this sort of like configuration. Because if you don't, you're going to run into problems later on. Either of them will work on the Tandem. Don't go for anything like this because you're just going to end up to run into big problems. Once you bought the trailer and customized the trailer, just back up onto it and then don't sink underneath your truck like I've just had. Once you've done that, you're more or less good to go. You'll end up with hopefully an end result of something like this. It looks pretty good. The back tyres look a bit sketchy though. They look a bit like something of a high performance racing truck. You can configure them slightly differently, or a show truck so to speak. So you can configure them slightly differently to make it look a bit more better. But I think it raises it up well, I found with the conventional tyres like these, they kind of look like they are almost rubbing against the top of the box, so that's why I went for these. If you don't really mind, look, you can see it almost here. It looks a bit tight, especially this one looks very tight here. But anyway, I have dribbled on long enough. Let's jump in the truck. Let's grab my keys. As you can, guys and girls can see, I've got the sim dash up and running. It's been sitting there blinking away. I've got no oil, low oil. But if I grab my keys from my button box, or grab my keys from the truck, throw the key into the ignition, turn the ignition on, fire it up. Right. Let's put it into gear. Take the parking brake off, and let's try and get out this yard with minimal fuss. It still will work with your with any conventional sound mods you've got. So if you've got the Creech Bum sound mods like me, or the realistic sound mods, again, should work fine. Shouldn't have any problems with it. The only thing I would say, obviously, as they're called in the trade of driving trucks, they're called rigids, because they're rigid bodies, not articulated as such. They've got a pivot on the back where the box sections do pivot on, but for handling characteristics, it handles very similar to just driving a conventional truck. The only thing you do need to be mindful of is obviously the swing. You've just got to be mindful of that, because this front end's going to handle like a bit, I wouldn't say, it's going to handle like a smaller sort of like 4.5 tonner truck of the fixed rigid body. So it's going to be sort of like a limo or a bus, driving a limousine or a bus in a sense. You just got to remember you are driving something that isn't articulated anymore. And as long as you remember that, you're fine. If you don't remember that, you forget, and then when you go to spin, you find the whole thing, it goes wrong very quickly. You run out of room, and its turning circle isn't as great as if you're driving the Arctics. Other than that, again, the physics should still not change. These are conventional physics. If I jump out the truck and do a crazy, you can see that they are still behaving as they should do. It is rigid, so it might, obviously there's more wheels to the ground, so it's not going to do the whole extremely crazy as you would get on an Arctic, but it should be relatively similar. Red light, stop. Anyway, I've been babbling on. Let's quickly look at the route. This route, I was torn between two different routes. There's another route that took us to here, well, from here to here, which was like 60 miles, and it was like for some bottled water. And I thought, okay, we do unlock that, but then if I go this route, we get to go through here, and I get to sort of like discover this part of Sweden as I don't think I've been to yet. I don't think I've been here. I just fancied a bit of a different run anyway, so I'll try and get, as I say, we're at a light. I'll try and get as much as we can in, or I can in, other aspects of the recording. I've spent probably the last 5-10 minutes yabbering. Again, like I said, with sort of like was my last recording, it was American Truck Simulator. I think it was American Truck Simulator. Yeah, again, I apologise for lack of videos. Again, I've been helping my dad out, working hard, and it's a bit difficult to fit everything in. Mainly just because looking after my dad, that's the treble thing. I had other problems as well over the last couple of weeks. with aspects to my phone. It was a nightmare. I spent a best part of an hour and 14 minutes trying to cancel my contract with Vodafone. Now, if you're thinking about like going to Vodafone, I really wouldn't suggest it. Not for all tea in China. To be fair, I've had no problems with them for the years that I've been with them. I've been with them probably must be at least 20 years. I started off, well, not my first phone. I think my first phone was an O2 phone, but the signal was really rubbish back then. So I went over to Vodafone, where the signal was a bit better, and the phones were back then. Because I was still pay as you go, so I'd just go in, buy a new phone at the same time. Back when they were fairly cheap, and they were crude. Actually, I'm going to stay in this lane. Is he going to stop? I could have let him out, but. So that's what I used to do. Once my phone started getting tired, I used to go in and go, right, have a look at the phones I liked, and spend like 90 odd quid. Actually, I need to be on this, doing this. Actually, it's this time. Well, spend 90, no more 90 quid buying the phone, and then just put my old SIM, if it was the same phone supplier, in, and just doing that. That's how I used to get around it back in the day, where you could do that and the phone didn't cost a fortune. But obviously then I got sick of the whole pay-as-you-go side of it, because it was constantly texting me saying I'm running out of money or to top up, and I'd have to walk down the shop to top up again. Back before the days that you could do it online or use the phone itself to top up. You had to buy the certain cards, the old plastic cards, to top up with. So you had to walk down the shop to buy the top up card. And then they sort of like started getting into the whole app side of it as well, but I got sick of it. It was costing more and more every month, and I was like, yeah, this isn't, and I was getting sick of it as well. So I just said, right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go contract. So I went into the Vodafone shop at the time and just got an upgrade. Got my first ever actual contract phone. Back then it wasn't all that bad. You know, it was reasonable back then. But obviously over the years I sort of like stayed with Vodafone, upgraded and when I needed to or wanted to, and everything else. And you know, I was happy, very happy, and I had no problems with them. None whatsoever. But you know, for the last probably 5 years, I'd say 5 to 6 years, I've been so I'll try and find my cruise. Actually, the cruise control should be on this set of buttons. One of these, that one, cool. I've been I've been happy with them, very happy with them for years, no problems whatsoever. And so for the last 5 years I've had my iPhone 5. I bought that outright from Apple, direct from Apple. So, and I was probably paying a bit too much over the odds for my SIM only deal, because the SIM only deal was around about 25 quid. That was like 2 gigabytes of data, I think it was, unlimited text and message calls, and again I didn't look round because I didn't think about it, and I was relatively happy. Then I went, right, I'm going to go and get myself an upgrade because my phone was dying, and the first shop I went into, admittedly at the time, said, well, it's going to cost you 80 quid to get a new battery for your iPhone. I was like, 80 quid? Really? Okay, that seems a bit excessive for an old phone like this. So I went, right, okay. Went into the Vodafone shop, and I said, what can you do, for an upgrade deal? And he went, well, you got these options here, you got these options here. Wrote them all out for me, and then I was like, okay, yeah, that one seems okay, and it's for the iPhone 10, and I knew the iPhone 10 is old, and I said to him, well, they've stopped making them now. The 10s is their base model. So I said, as this is an older phone, in a sense, although it's brand new as a phone, it's an old phone in Apple's and everyone else's eyes, can you do a better offer? So he sort of like did some sort of like math, he did some sort of like working out in his head. He said, yeah, okay, about this, and then I sort of sprung a sort of surprise on him. I'm part of a group which gives you an additional 20% a month discount, right, for diesel. So he's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I was a bit sneaky of me, but he was all right with that, to be fair. And then I said to him, before I even signed any sort of like, well, it wasn't, I'd even say paperwork, before it was even signing any paperwork or anything, or agreeing to anything, I said to him, right, is that the price I'll be paying from whenever the next month is onwards? And he said, yeah, that'd be the price you're paying. And I said, no hidden extras, no nasty hidden extras or anything else I need to worry about. And he went, no, that is the price you're going to be paying for your contract from that month onwards. And I was like, right, okay, brilliant. And he said, well, I'll tell you what, while you're here, he goes, for an extra, he goes, as you've been with us for such a long time, he said, and he goes, let me see if I can work out an extra deal for you. And I was like, right. And he goes, for a tablet. And I was like, no, I don't really need a tablet, mate, to be honest, because I'm more using my computer more than anything. And if I'm not using my computer, I'm just on my phone. And he said, well, you can, because I got talking to him and I said to him about YouTube. He says, oh, you'll find it easier using YouTube and stuff, communicating. And I was like, yeah, okay, I get that, but it doesn't warrant it for the amount I'm going to use it. And he said, well, how about I told you it's only going to cost you £3 more a month to have the tablet. Oh no, obviously an additional, it was 20 quid upfront cost, because it was 70 quid for the phone and another 20 quid for the tablet. And I was like, okay, you've got me sold. I've never actually had a tablet before. I've always used a computer or my phone. I've never had a tablet. And he said, well, for the extra £3 a month, you might as well go for it as part of the package deal. So I said, okay then, brilliant. So the total was roughly a month. It's going to be roughly, well, after my deductions, it's roughly going to be 60 quid. And once I've paid the initial upgrading the phone after 2 years, it would roll back down to whatever SIM only I wanted. And I was like, great, okay. Literally a week, he said to me, first, I don't know why I'm indicating, he said to me, he said, download the app. He said, I've noticed on your phone you don't have the app. And I said, yeah. I said, I didn't get along with it when they first introduced it, and it was really crude and it just didn't work for me. He goes, download it, because they've made a lot of updates and they've made it work a lot better from those days. I went, okay. So downloaded it, and then it was just like, yeah, this works a lot better. All I need to do is look at the phone and it unlocks and tells me how much my balance is or whatever. And within a week I looked at the app and it went from the standard 30 that I was paying for next month, it rolled up to 138, and I'm like, whoa, something's not right here. Why is that 138 all of a sudden? And it was like a case of, right, I'm going to phone up the customer services now and find out what's going on, because, you know, 138 is a lot different to 60 odd quid. It was 65 quid total, I think. And he was just like, so I went on the app itself, because there's like a dedicated support centre, and you could sort of like message someone and then they talk to you, and that's 24/7. So I was like, right, brilliant. I said, yeah, I seem to have a problem here, because it's saying 138. Now the guy in the shop said to me it's going to be around about 60 odd quid mark, and you know, there's a discrepancy. And they then looked into it and they said, no, it's not. You're right. It should be your new contract. It's saying here that your new contract to come in after March, and you'll be paying that. There's obviously a problem with the app itself. I'll notify the app team to get them to update the app. You should see that go down. I said, how quick is that going to happen? She said it should be the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It depends on what the problem is. You may not see it straight away. I say she, it could have been he, I don't know. It's just I forget the name at the time, but I was just like, okay. So I gave it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I was getting a bit worried, because obviously it's getting towards the end of the cooling off period that you get with both the phone and the tablet. And then it rolled over on a day that... Is he coming this way? Yes, he is. No, he's not. Right. It rolled over and it jumped. Well, actually, I'll tell a lie. It changed from 138 and it went to 108 within a day after I sort of like told them. I was like, okay, that's a bit excessive, but obviously there's an additional charge which obviously the guy's forgotten to tell me about. And at that point, I bit my lip, although I could have been a bit mean about it and just phoned them up and whatever. I thought, no, okay, I'll let bygones be bygones. I'm happy paying that as initial first payment, right? And let's say the next couple of weeks went by, and then it went over to my rollover, where it rolls over to the next month, and it jumped up from 108. And initially, because I knew something was up, because I looked at the forecast for the bill, and they said it was going to be 145, and I ignored that initially, because although it was playing on the back of my mind, I was just like, there's obviously whatever's going on with this problem with the app. They've got something wrong. But then it did roll up from 108 to 145. I was like, right, okay, it's definitely something not right here. This is getting excessive now. I'm not going to pay that for March's bill. I don't think it's justified or fair. I was happy with the 108 figure, but that was way too much. And I was just like, so I contacted them again, and I said, I think there's another problem with the app. I think it's telling me it's going to be for March. It's going to be 145, and they, no, that's right. It's going to be 145. And I said, well, why? And that she went into explaining how it rolls over, and how they roll it over from one month to the other. So you'll be paying technically half a month's usage on that month as well, the previous half month. I was like, well, no one told me about this at the store. If they'd told me about this at the store, I would have then thought about having a different plan that was cheaper, so then that would have covered for that, or not even upgrading at all, because if I'd known that, I'd just walked out and went, right, I'm either going to go and get a second-hand iPhone from somewhere, for that sort of price range, 144 quid, or around 150 quid. I could have got a half decent second-hand phone, and just stick with the SIM only. And she said, oh well, sorry, there's nothing we can do. And I went, well, there is, because I'm still within my 30-day cooling off period. And she said, yes, there is. You're still within a 30-day cooling off period. I said, I'm going to take the phone in and cancel the contract tomorrow, I'm afraid. And that I just said, and she said, okay. And I was like, right, okay. And I said, it's a shame, because I've been with the Vodafone for so many years, but what can you do? So I walked into the shop. I bought all it back the boxes. The bloke said, yep, the phone's immaculate, the tablet's immaculate, you got all the boxes, all the right paperwork with it. He goes, I've got not a problem with giving you the refund. Go on, I'll go. I was going to let him out, but then I second guessed myself. So I did that. Went into the shop. The guy he went, okay, yeah, I can understand that. The bloke should have mentioned this to you when you signed up, and he was sitting next to him at the time he was selling me this contract. He goes, yeah, I do remember he didn't mention nothing about that, so he should have really mentioned something, that you might have got an additional charge. Then you could have been forewarned and forearmed. Right, thank you. So with that, I walked out the shop. I said, look, he says, here's your SIM card back. I said, I don't want it back. I said, please put it in the shredder. And he goes, okay. He goes, but you got 30 days before they cancel the plan. And I said, doesn't bother me. I still don't want nothing to do with the phone anymore, I'm afraid. And he goes, okay, that's fine. So then, with the paperwork and all the receipts from the refund, I walked out the shop, went home, got on the landline, gave it about an hour or so, got on the landline, phoned them up and said, I'm cancelling my plan, please. And the first woman said, well, no, you can't, you're out of your 30 days grace. And I said, look again, because I contacted one of your people last night, and they said the 30 days grace is up until today, in a sense. So I've taken the phone back this morning, so I want to cancel my plan, please. And she went, okay, yeah, I've just looked, that's fine. So she said, I have to put you through the cancellation team. Why am I rolling back when I'm pushing the accelerator? Now, this is an automatic, yet it's stalled. Why? That makes no sense. You might as well come out then, mate. Come out. Yeah, so she's put me through to the cancellation team, which is this other guy, and he's just like, da 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 da. And he goes, right, he goes, let me just look, see what's going on here. And he says, right, okay, yeah, okay. So did they mention to you about the way that they structure it? And I said, yes. But I wasn't told at the time. And if I'd been told at the time, or at the very beginning, when I initially raised the price with someone on the customer service team, on this help app or whatever it was, on a Vodafone help app, I would have went, right, no, I'm going to take it back much sooner than I had have done. Because they tried to lead me down the garden path, in a sense, I was like, I'm not having that, it's so devious. I don't want nothing to do with that. So, that he goes, okay, I get your point. I'm gonna, but he goes, I'm gonna make you a few offers first. Cool, right next to that, there's a fire engine as well. Is he turned to cut them out? train doesn't come. Yeah, so he goes, but before he goes, I'm going to make a few offers first, because I have to. I said, that's fine, mate, but just be prepared. I'm probably going to say no, because as it is, I've left the sim in the shop. He goes, okay. He goes, I can send you out a new sim, not a problem. And I'll get them to bar it. And I said, okay. And he goes, right, I'll start making these offers to you. And he goes, because obviously what you're saying about the charges and that. He goes, how about I just leave you on the sim only plan for $9.99 a month, and that'll be for 4 gigabytes of data, unlimited text minutes. I said, that's intriguing. Oh, we discovered that. Cool. That is intriguing. But I know I waffled on and I've probably gone way over. I don't know why I'm stopping. There's lights there, but I'm just being extra cautious. Kent's rolled back. I said, what about this 144 quid charge? He said, well, I'll scrap that. I said, right, okay, brilliant. So all I'll be paying is $9.99 a month next month. He goes, oh, actually, not the first month. You're going to be about 25. Well, it'd be about 45 because you have to this whole thing. I was like, right, okay. I said, that's better than 144 though. And he goes, yeah. He goes, and I said, right, if you could put that into writing and email it to me, I'll be more than happy to upgrade or just go over the sim only. And he went, I can't do that. And I said, well, we've got no dice then, mate, because unless you put that into writing that I won't get that 144 quid charge, then I'm not. Whoa! There's a bridge. Was there a bridge? Is there a bridge? There's lights. That guy's stopped, so I'm gonna stay here. I'm hoping I'm alright here. Why has he stopped? I'm on the actual bridge itself. Back up a little bit. Oops. I think that's where the bridge is. I'm hoping that's where the bridge is. I've bashed into the truck in front behind me, crushed his front ending. I might just go for it. That boat's not moving anywhere. Just to get off the bridge. Here, stop. Nah, okay. Now the barrier's shut. Because I wasn't actually... Okay. That's interesting. So that's the... Okay. I saw the lights and I was like, hmm? Don't know what I'm doing that. That's better. I've got all the fluster. Right. So now, because again, they're being devious, and I said, "Sorry, mate, I've got no qualms with you whatsoever, but I'm not getting led down yet another garden path. If you write to me or email me that, then I'll sign up for the $9.99 a month for 12 months or whatever it is, or month roll out month, just sim only." He said, "Yeah, no, I can't do that." I said, "Put me through to the cancellation team then, or just accounts with me. He goes, look, now I've made the offers, because I mentioned gift gaff. I was planning on going to gift gaff, and he said, right, okay, I'll put you through the head of cancellation team, because I want you to talk to her, and because she's got more authority than I have in order to make changes, and she do anything. She should be able to sort out whatever issues you have. Okay, so he said, look, do you mind if I put you on hold while I explain the situation to her, so you don't have to repeat yourself all over again? So I said, okay. So I had to wait there for about 2-3 minutes, probably a bit more, 10 minutes most. So she said, right, okay, Mr. Sawyer, I understand you've been led up the garden path and all everywhere, and had to play ring around the roses and stuff like that. And I said, yeah. And I said, a man of less patience, or a person of less patience, would be yelling at the phone, down the phone at you right now. And I know what it's like to work in customer services, so I didn't want to do that. Engine off. Run the dude over. Engine off. Lights. Wrong ones. It's these ones. Engine off. Right. Travel. Embark. Pretty dark by the time we get there. So I told her what happened again, and she said, okay. And she pulled up the records and everything. And she says, yeah, I can see the amendments they've made, this and that, the other. And she goes, what would it take for you to stay with us? I just said, look, just give me the plan that I agreed to. The 60 quid a month for the phone, the tablet, and everything else. I don't want this whole 144 quid charge, because I think that's a bit extortionate. And she goes, okay, if I contact the billing team and get them to do that, will you go and get your phone back and we'll block the SIM? I'll personally contact the other team to block your SIM, and we'll send you another one in the phone. Just go and get your phone back. I'll make the calls. I said, yeah, just put it into writing, please, and send me an email that it's going to be that price, and I'm not going to be paying any of this stupid £144 charge. That she said, I can't do that. And I said, well, where's this pointless having this conversation then? Because you're not going to do that. And I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go and get my phone, and then in a day's time, you guys, or tomorrow, you guys go, oh, well, he's got his phone back, and we can just say he never actually cancelled the phone in the first place, and then wallop you an extra higher charge because you went and got the phone or whatever. I was like, nah, I'm not having none of that. I said, sorry, but no dice. I'm not going to do that. I said, she goes, well, do you like your pack code? I was like, oh, diesel, good for diesel. Actually, I've got remembered, I didn't actually recalibrate the fuel, the sim dash. Oh well, doesn't matter. I was just looking at the fuel gauge. It is all right still. So I was just like, okay, I just want. And she goes, oh, do you want your pack code or whatever it's called? And I was like, no. Well, I said, what? Yes, initially, yes, I said, I want it because I want to transfer my number over because it makes life a lot easier. She goes, well, if we do that, you're gonna have we technically roll on your contract until we receive notification from the new supplier that they're taking the old number. And I was like, well, yeah, no, I don't like the idea of that, because then you guys are still charging me the base minimum and potentially charging me 144 quid just for not even using your service. I don't like the idea of that. So, you know, no, I don't want the pack code. I'll change my number out. And she goes, okay, but you're aware technically you've still got the 30 days grace, and because you've got the 30 days grace, you're still technically on the contract. And I said, look, I don't want technically this, technically that. I've just told you the SIM is in the shop, the phones are back in the shop. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'll pay up to a certain point. Whatever I use this month, I'll pay. I won't pay for a month I'm not even got the phone or the SIM card. I don't want to. I don't find it fair. And she goes, yeah, okay, I understand that, and I can appreciate that. I'll get them to block the phone, block the SIM, and I'll contact the billing team and get them to send you a revised bill. She says it should be the minimum line rental you'll be paying is £20, and then whatever extra fees on top of that. So it's going to be around, she said, roughly about £45, roughly. She said shouldn't be much more than 50. And I was like, great, okay, thank you very much, and left it at that. She goes, I've got to put you through to the billing team now, and so then they can send you the bill. I said, can you send this me by post, please? And she said, yeah, I'll put you through to the billing team so they can send you the bill by post. Because I said, there's no point sending it to my mobile or email it to me, because it's going to request my mobile phone number, which I don't have the SIM anymore and I don't know it. So she said, yeah. So she put me through to this billing team, and this guy picked up, and he's like, I said, did she explain what's going on? He said, no, I know nothing what's going on. I was like, right. I said, I'm Mr. Sawyer, please just send my revised bill to my address, please. He said, no, we can't do that because you're automated billing, so it goes through via your mobile. Now, if I said, look, I've just been speaking to the head of the cancellation team, and she promised me that you're going to send me the bill by post. If you're telling me that's not going to happen, then she should have explained this before handing me over, so then you could just send the bill to my address. I'm going to get some diesel actually, because I can see it is getting a bit low. In fact, I should really recalibrate that. I've probably been waffling off for ages as well. I'll park it up and I'll refill, and I'll leave it at that. But after that sort of like service with them, I lost it with this guy. I just started yelling down the phone at him. And he's saying, I want to make your life less stressful. And I said, well, what would have made the life less stressful was if you knew what was going on, and you just send me the bill, the revised bill. And he goes, well, I'm looking now, and I can tell you what you'll be paying is around about 80 quid. And I was like, well, she said around no more than 50. And he said, well, no, it's going to be 80 quid. And I said, well, sorry, mate, you can jog on, because I'll pay 50, maybe 60 quid as a cancellation fee, but I'm not going to pay any more than that. Not if I've been promised around about 50, 60 quid, no more than that. And I said, just send me the bill by post, and just hung the phone up after that. And then literally about half hour to an hour after my conversation, they then sent me the bill via the email, and it still said 145.95, and I was like, okay, so I've just spent the last hour and 15 minutes talking to Vodafone to try and sort this out, only not to get it sorted out. So don't join. I've gone to GiftGaff. GiftGaff are great. If anyone's thinking about changing, go to giffgaff. They are O2, okay, but well, they use O2 servicing as a network, but they're their own people, and I've had no problems with them. I can do it all online on my app and everything else. Turn that off, turn the lights out, and I'll go to have a kip. But anyway, I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the episode. Sorry about the lack of light in the end, but if you did enjoy it, please feel free to like. If you didn't enjoy it for any reason, guys and girls, please feel free to dislike. But leave a comment down below to why you didn't like it, so then at least I can try to improve in the future. And if you're new to my channel and you see future episodes of this or anything else that I'm working on, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know as soon as I upload a new video. And if you know anyone else that may also enjoy watching this, guys and girls, please feel free to share. It helps me a lot and I don't mind you sharing. I will see you in the next one. TTFN.